Hello from Becky and me. Welcome to the final programme of the week.
The family of an Essex aid worker are tonight waiting anxiously for news after she was named among more than 100 United Nations workers missing in Haiti. Anne Barnes, who's 59 and originally from Leon-Sea, has not been heard from since the catastrophic earthquake 3 days ago. A massive international aid effort, including aid workers from Milton Keynes-based charity World Vision, is working to help the survivors. Neil Bradford has more.
As many as 50,000 people have died. Thousands more are still missing. Among them, United Nations worker Anne Barnes from Essex. The 59-year-old, originally from Leon-Sea, is one of more than 100 UN workers unaccounted for after their building collapsed in the earthquake. The personal assistant to the police commissioner has been working in Haiti for more than 2 years. Her family back in Essex are desperate for news.
You don't know whether she's all right and she's perhaps in a pocket somewhere where she's quite safe. Or whether she's in trouble, don't know. That's the worrying bit. We've got to keep hoping that perhaps, you know, you hear, don't you, that they pull people out after days. So just keep your fingers crossed that somebody's looking after her.
In Milton Keynes, Madara Hetiarachi is preparing to leave for Haiti this weekend. She'll be working with those distributing aid on the ground for the charity World Vision.
There's just complete damage to infrastructure. Families are affected. They're looking for families still, looking for families and friends and trying to find statuses of their houses. So that's the scenario I imagine that I'll walk into. And my job will be to talk to communities, to assess needs so that we could figure out our response, what we will be doing over the next few weeks.
Good morning, you're through to Charlotte at World Vision. Can I help?
The desperate plight of the Haitian people has touched the hearts of the British public. World Vision says it's received an unprecedented number of calls to its UK headquarters offering cash donations. The scenes of utter devastation have even stirred children to act. These youngsters at St Thomas More School in Norwich held a hat for Haiti Day to raise money for the Disaster Relief Fund. For the small Haitian community living in the UK, it's a desperate time waiting for news of loved ones. One Haitian living in Milton Keynes has spoken of her desperate attempts to contact family on a BBC website. She says, "I've not heard from my mother or my cousins. My aunt is also missing. I've been calling all my other relatives and friends in Haiti. The phone lines are down a lot of the time, and I can't get through." A British search and rescue team, including Essex firefighter Terry Webb, has reached the country, while the search for survivors continues. The aid effort is being delayed by bottlenecks and infrastructure damage. The plight of the Haitian people is becoming more desperate with every hour. Neil Bradford, Anglia News, Milton Keynes.
And if you wish to make a donation to the Disaster Emergencies Committee's Haiti earthquake appeal, you can do so by ringing 0370 60 60 900. That's 0370 60 60 900. Or you can make a donation online at the website on your screen right now.
Now, there's anger tonight after a new survey by the AA revealed petrol prices in our region are the highest in the country, on a par with London.
And if that wasn't bad enough, there's also a warning that petrol prices could rocket to £1.20 a litre by Easter. That's £5.45 a gallon. Staggering, isn't it? The Petrol Retailers Association says the government is desperate for cash and fuel is heavily taxed because motorists are an easy target. Natalie Gray has the report.
Nearly £1.17 a litre here in Wisbech, and it's the same in Cambridge. It's prices like these that make our region, along with London, the dearest place in the country for fuel. It means we're way above average petrol prices, which are now nearly £1.12 a litre, compared with nearly 87p a litre this time last year. Diesel is now on average nearly £1.14 a litre, compared with nearly 99p a litre in mid-January last year.
According to the AA, the average two-car family is spending £12.50 a week more on petrol than they were a year ago.
I think this is very unfair for drivers in East Anglia because most people are dependent on their cars due to the lack of public transport.
Kind of crazy when you think 6-7 years ago everybody was on strike because it was going over £1, and now we're well above that.
Luckily, having a company vehicle, it doesn't affect me too much, but yeah, I wouldn't be very happy if I was paying for it myself.
Far too high. They've got tankers off the coast, waiting for the prices to go up before they unload it into our depots. It's ridiculous.
So just how far will your petrol money go? Well, last year, £50 worth of petrol would have taken your average car on an extensive tour of our region. Starting off at Sheringham on the North Norfolk coast, you could visit Norwich, Chelmsford, Cambridge, Luton, Northampton, Peterborough, Kings Lynn and Hunstanton before returning home, a distance of around 380 miles. However, a year on, that £50 would only buy enough petrol to travel 295 miles, leaving you stranded somewhere near Peterborough. Ralph Carman runs this garage in rural Corston in North Norfolk. He admits prices are high, but says don't blame him, blame the government.
The Chancellor takes the biggest slice, 80% at least. He's got to pay for, get all his money back that he's wasted. And we just can't compete with supermarkets. Supermarkets are selling cheaper than we can buy from our suppliers. But at the end of the day, their product is nowhere near as good as a branded product.
So why are prices so high?
Well, one, we've seen the VAT increase, which has put 2p a litre on, and with this cold snap, we're seeing an increase in the use of heating oil, which is the same as diesel, plus they're having a problem getting the product around with this weather.
But motorists are being warned to brace themselves for even further hikes.
I think in the next budget, the government is talking about reintroducing the price escalator. With what else they're liable to do to fuel, I can't see us keeping the price below £1.20 much after Easter.
And drivers living furthest from price-cutting supermarkets will be the hardest hit, paying up to 5p a litre more. Natalie Gray, Anglia News.
It is so expensive at the moment. You filled up this morning, didn't you?
£65. I nearly fell over.
Ridiculous, isn't it? Right, moving on. The inquest into the death of Cambridgeshire man David Gray has been hearing from a woman who helped train the doctor who killed him with an accidental overdose.
Karen Byford from the Take Care Now medical agency was responsible for teaching new locum doctors how to use the company's computers.
Mr Gray died in February 2008 after the German doctor Daniel Ubani gave him 10 times the safe dose of diamorphine. The case has highlighted concerns about the provision of out-of-hours medical cover. Matthew Hudson has this report.
Karen Byford on the right, arriving to give evidence to the inquest. She gave Dr Daniel Ubani training on a medical agency's computer system just hours before the tragedy. Mrs Byford's evidence somewhat contradicted testimony that we heard yesterday. As she told the inquest, he didn't appear to be tired to me. He seemed to understand the things that I was speaking to him about. I don't think it was a problem. I had no problem communicating with him. Yesterday, David Gray's partner, Linda Bubb, told the inquest when the doctor arrived at their house in February 2008, he seemed tired, was hard to communicate with and seemed to be dithering. Mr Gray died after being given 100 milligrams of diamorphine, 10 times the recommended dose, by the German doctor who'd only arrived in this country a few hours earlier for his first shift. The victim's family, including his sons Stuart and Rory, is taking legal action against the doctor. Dr Ubani himself had been asked to give evidence at the inquest today, but as was expected, he failed to materialise. He's already been sentenced by a German court over what happened, being given a suspended prison sentence and a fine. This inquest is expected to last another 2 weeks. Matthew Hudson, Anglia News at Wisbech Magistrates Court.